Hello, beautiful. How's everybody's weekend been? Well, it's good morning, beautiful again. And just wanted to say hello and happy Monday. Monday is usually like the most I think it's the toughest day of the week just because your week started and you are trying to get back into that routine, and it's almost like you're starting your engine and trying to jumpstart the week. And usually you get really tired on Mondays, so I'm not too sure how your Monday's been. Well, my weekend turned out pretty good. We had Vikings won. Yay, skull. So that was really fun. Vikings won, and we had the family over for lunch yesterday to watch the game together, and that was really fun. When you see the kids just hanging with each other and having fun, and that's pretty awesome. Yesterday I kind of had conversation with my mother-in-law, and kind of have some girl talk. That was kind of nice too. And then they live in Arizona, so they kind of went back last night, and we had to drop them off. But it was a good feeling to have family here. Sometimes it just makes the house more fun when you have more people around. That's how I feel about it anyway. I really enjoy having my in-laws here. It just kind of, being around family, it's always comforting and nice. So what was really comforting too was just having a conversation with my mother-in-law, and we I just kind of shared with her that I was experiencing anxiety and depression, and that was kind of like the phase that I was going through. And she kind of related. She shared too that she had that similar experience. She also had encountered an individual that she was having trouble with at work, and before, and how she kind of handled that and how that made her feel. And we talked a lot about how our anxiety or counseling really is helpful, and how it made such a difference in her perception of life, and her just having a right mindset about her approach to things in general. And really the theme that I really want to focus on today is about setting boundaries. So boundaries is so important, guys. For the longest time I do not know how to set boundaries. So I think I shared with you guys that I am an empath, and I do take on people's energy, and setting boundaries to protect myself, that is on the spiritual aspect of things. So now this boundaries that I'm talking about is slightly different. So this boundaries I'm talking about is really knowing what you're comfortable with, what your space is. Oh my gosh, my animals are behind me just making lots of noise. Dogs. Get, guys, get. Come on. Get. Sorry about that. So that's real life. Like I said, again, uncut. But that's one of the main things that I had to learn, is to set boundaries, because I don't realize that people are kind of stepping onto my territory a little bit. What I mean by that is that I allow people to step in my space where I know in my heart that I'm not comfortable with. And that's not about like physical space. I'm talking about like physical boundaries around your likes, your dislikes, your wants, your feeling comfortable, you don't feel comfortable about certain issues, your kind of your wishes, your wishes about things, your style, your comfortability around certain issues, aspect, situation, experience, all that stuff. Each one of us have our own specific preference, and that's what I call opinions. Everybody are entitled to their own opinions. I never believe in placing opinions on people, because we all have different sets of values and beliefs. So I don't think that's appropriate to like force that upon others. But what I'm trying to say here is that we all have boundaries, and we all should have boundaries. And what happens is not the fact that we don't have boundaries. The fact is, when our boundaries are being stepped on by others, we are afraid to speak up. That's where the problem happens. So in my situation, it's really the fact that I felt disrespected, I felt bullied, I felt a lot of conversations that had been had was unfair. It wasn't true, but I never spoke up. I never did, because at that time my mindset was, why rock the boat? Like, why do I need to defend myself? And honestly, I still feel that way. I don't feel, if you know me, you know me. I don't have to like explain myself to 15,000 people about what I did or what I want to do, what I choose to do, what I had done, whether I did it right, did it wrong. Like that, I know in my heart what I did. I know in my heart I did the right thing. I know in my heart I worked hardest as I can. I knew that I never cut corners. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just talking about giving you examples in general. And I don't need people to question me about my intentions. I think that's the part where I don't feel like I need to explain my intentions. Wow, that's a big truck behind me that just go past. Because why do I need to do that? It's not necessary. It's at that time I didn't feel like I owe them any explanation. Let's put it that way. Now my dog wants to go out, so hang on. Yeah, guys, I didn't feel like I owe anybody any explanation, but I also never really did defend myself when my boundaries are being stepped on. So then, with the poor attitude or with the poor treatment, because I never said anything about it, people think that they can talk to me that way, or they can approach me in such a way, or say whatever they want to say without thinking that maybe I do feel differently about it. Because on the surface I look too agreeable because I didn't say anything. So and you know what? That's a no-no. Like, we shouldn't be doing that. We should really, it's not about defending ourselves. Which is really a change in my mindset around that. Is that when I express my opinions about something, I'm not trying to change their minds or convince them, because that was kind of my mindset. It's like, okay, why do I know the truth? Why do I need to convince people the truth? I mean, I don't know why I need to. But on the flip side, what you're trying to do when you speak up, which is the new mindset, is that I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm just trying to lay down my law. And my law is that this is my boundary. Like, this is my approach to things. This is what I believe to be true. I'm just letting you know this is not appropriate for you to be talking to me this way. I do not appreciate it. Of course, respectfully, you know what I mean? You don't need to like say swear words or anything like that, but respectfully. And it can be outwardly, where you actually confront the person that you felt had broke your boundaries, Or you can do it more silently, and that is drawing your boundaries, because it doesn't always have to be a confrontation. You know what I mean? If you know how to set your boundaries and basically address the fact that I'm done with this, I do not want to allow myself to be in a situation where I would be disrespected, my boundaries would be broken, then you remove yourself from the situation. So how you do that, you don't entertain them, you don't go to events where either the person is there, or you just don't place yourself in situations where potentially you could be in the same space where people might treat you that way. So that's the other way that you can do that. But my question to you is, how many times in a day, or how often, are your boundaries being broken? And what do you do about that? When we talk about self-love a few times about a video or two ago, it really is, it comes down to that self-respect, that self-love that you have for yourself. A lot of times we think a lot about what people would perceive us, but we don't put ourselves as top priority. So the difference in the mindset is that the self-love comes when you are actually putting yourself first, whether it be telling others that this is not okay, this is not the way you should treat me, or just being very transparent around what you're willing or not willing to tolerate, by being very honest about your opinions, not to convince others of that you're right, but just let others know what you are willing or not willing to tolerate, because that makes a big difference in people's treatment of you. And when you have more self-love and self-respect, you're putting yourself first, you're letting people know, like, this is what I allow and this is no. So just like in my marriage, you know, my boundaries is no cheating, no beating. So that's my boundaries. And once that boundary is broken, then I have to stay true to my boundaries and either call it out, make a change, because my boundaries are broken. So I set the rules instead of just allowing that to happen. That's what I mean by that, to make it a little bit simpler. So guys, I want to leave you with that thought. Today, since it's Monday, it's a good week to kind of set your boundaries, set your tone for your week, and really think through, give it some thought, because sometimes you don't realize your boundaries are broken. But how you know is it's how you feel when your boundaries are being broken. I mean, you feel uncomfortable, upset, irritated. You just felt like you are being violated. Is really how you feel, and that's when you know, and it's a feeling, and sometimes you are not aware of it because you're so used to being this way with a certain individual or different people in your life. So what you really need to be aware of is your feeling around the people that you interact with. You know, when words come out or words are exchanged, or conversations are being had, how does that make you feel inside? If it doesn't make you feel good, then maybe some boundaries are being broken for you. So what are you going to do about it? Because that is not going to change if you continue to interact with this person. So your choices are either address it, set your boundaries, or remove yourself from the situation, because life is too short to be unhappy, especially if this person that you interact with is someone that is regular in your life. So I'm going to leave you with that thought, ladies. Until we meet again, I am excited to post my next video. So if you like my channel, please subscribe and like and share. And if you have any ideas of what we want to talk about in our Good Morning Beautiful, please drop your comments and feedback. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.